Today, guys, I want to take a look at this single fold towel dispenser by Georgia-Pacific. It is their number 56701, and that's the one that is in the white metal. The chrome one, should you want that, is 56720. Now, as you can see, I made the thing portable. You don't have to do that. But I wanted something that I could use when I'm working on my car, on the brakes, I'm underneath of the car, and I wanted to be able to have this where I can push it out of the way and have towels at the ready. So let me show you what I did, and we will take a look at the towel dispenser. I bought a couple more that I'm going to be using throughout my house for the basement and the kitchen also. I bought this off of Amazon. I paid right around $26. I thought that was an excellent price. These are metal. They're not any kind of acrylic or plastic. Built very well. Now, this did ship direct from shoplet.com out of Twinsburg, Ohio. Now, I couldn't believe how this was shipped to me and how it got to me without some kind of damage or loss, because as you can see here, there's the shipping label, and it's two boxes that are the exact same length, width, and height. They put one box into the other, even though you didn't need to do that. That box wasn't needed. They could have easily just put it in the box that it is, closed the lid, taped it up, and sent it. Why it was like this, I don't know, but it got to me in good order. In fact, the boxes are in perfect shape, and they didn't even have any tape. This is exactly how it was. No tape around that to secure the top box to the bottom box. But hey, it got to me, but I just thought I'd point that out because I've never had that happen. I've had them do two boxes. Some places they'll put the two boxes together, but they'll tape them up if they need to make something bigger. And they'll tape them and they'll secure them, but like I said, I just thought I'd point that out. Quite interesting. Now, when you receive this and take it out of the box, you will get mounting screws, 4 of them, and you'll get a key that allows you to open the lid. Remember, these are made for commercial purposes, so they're not going to have a push button latch to open it, because they don't want people taking them. So that's the reason to have that key. So quite simply, you would take that end of the key, stick it in like that, and then just pull it open. And as you can see on the lid, we have the latch mechanism, the tab that goes into the latch mechanism right there. And like I said, this thing is made out of metal construction and nice and heavy duty. You can see that it's got slots on both sides so that you can see when the paper is going low. And then in the back, you see the slots and mounting holes that you would use for whatever application to anchor this to the wall. And for you guys that like some technical information as to the thickness of this material, we are at 40 thousandths thick. Here we see a view of it from the bottom. Here's where your paper towels would stick out at. And also, your key and screws, when you purchase this, they will be inside like that. So you just got to tip it over and just, it's easy to fish out of here. So let's take a look at how we go from this to this. So I stated earlier, I wanted to be able to put this towel dispenser on something and make it mobile. And not, because obviously you've got paper towels that have to be off You can't just set this on the ground. They don't come off from the top like a Kleenex box. They come down from the bottom. So I decided to create something like this. Now, there were several considerations. First, when I bought this, I had to make sure that it would fit the size paper towels. Then I needed to get it up off the ground. So I made up this wooden thing, 1x6, and cut it to the size of my application. And I used a router, routed all the corners so that it was nice and smooth. And then put this dado in using a router and a 3/4 inch bit, carbide tipped, which you should always use carbide tipped because they hold up much better. And then that gave me a nice strong anchor point. Put wood glue in here and 2 screws, about 1.25 inches off each end, and that's rigid. I didn't need any other type of bracing for this. Then we come up here and we see that we have a key. Well, now where do you put the key? Being a commercial unit, they're not going to have this attached because, again, they don't want people taking towels. So I just came up with this quick thing and anchored it to the side of the dispenser, and then just use a 1024 through this chain, 1024 bolt like you see here, and an acorn nut on the other side so that this can rotate around. And now it's a simple matter of when you want to unlock this, everything moves and you can get up here and stick this in there to open it up. Then I decided to make this really portable. Why not put it on something with casters? And so I bought a commercial pan, baking sheet pan or whatever, out of aluminum, very heavy duty. And into that, put 4 casters using stainless steel hardware. The next thing, after I got this all together, I thought, well, geez, it should have a handle. So I put this nice handle on here. Now it's a simple matter of picking this thing up. This is the handle that I'm using. And it came with 1032 bolts that were much too long. I didn't have any 1032s shorter. I had 1024s. So I just kind of retapped the hole, the 2 holes, 1024. Worked out just fine. And then I used 1/2 inch long Allen button head cap screws. So let's open this thing up and see what I had to do, because I did have to modify the inside of this for the use of the paper towels that I'm using. So if we take a look here, when I found this towel dispenser from Georgia-Pacific on Amazon, I liked the fact that it was longer than what I needed, okay, in the width for the paper towels, because I bought these to use with 2 different types of paper towels, and it'll work with both of them. And I didn't want this huge gap, the difference here. So all I did was take a piece of 3/4 by 1.5 inches wide, I think it was 1.5 inches, yeah, piece of wood, and then, as you saw earlier, I've got 2 screws here, and then the top screw worked great for me to anchor the chain, and that just holds this and furs this out enough to where you don't have all that slop back and forth here with the paper towel. I suppose it would work without this, but I just didn't want that, so I decided to put that in there. And with some careful planning, you can see how the 1x6 nested really nice in between the bolts that anchored the casters. And then these are the two different paper towels that I'll be using with this. And the blue ones are just a little bit longer. And they work fine with that piece of wood that I put into it. So that's why they said this thing worked out just great to use with both paper towels that I use. Very happy with this. And you don't have to do what I've done here, but if you're looking for something in the garage, around the house, I think this is an excellent dispenser. This is approximately 10.5 inches inside internally, side to side, 5.5 inches deep from front to back, and 7.25 inches high from bottom to top. So as you can see, even when it's somewhat windy, the towels are in the dispenser. They stay together. They're not blown around. I don't have to leave them in the garage and then walk into the garage to get them. And if I'm working alongside the car, doing brakes, whatever, I've got the towels right here handy. If I'm under the car, it's up on jack stands, I can roll this over to the area that I'm at, and I've got the paper towels at the ready whenever needed.